The night sky above the alien capital of Velmora burned with streaks of fire. Ships exploded like dying stars, their fragments raining down on the glowing towers of the royal city. Sirens wailed through the metallic streets, echoing across the violet sky as the once peaceful kingdom descended into chaos. Prince Kael ran. His breath came in short bursts as he sprinted through narrow alleys between towering silver buildings. His royal cloak had long been discarded, and his once polished armor was now scratched and blackened with soot. Behind him, the sound of hunting drones hummed through the air. They were close. Kael glanced over his shoulder and saw red lights scanning the rooftops. The rebels had taken control of half the city already. The royal palace had fallen an hour ago, and the queen, his mother, had ordered him to escape. "Go," she had said, gripping his shoulders firmly. "You are the future of Velmora. If you fall, our world falls with you." Those were the last words he had heard from her before the palace gates collapsed under enemy fire. Kael turned another corner and nearly slipped on the smooth metal ground. The streets here were darker, quieter. This was the outer district, far from the grand towers of the royal core. Most of the buildings were small, old, and forgotten, perfect for hiding. But the drones were getting closer. He could hear their scanning pulses bouncing off the walls. Kael's heart pounded. His legs burned from exhaustion. He needed somewhere to hide.
Now.
Ahead of him stood a row of small residential doors embedded into the metallic wall of an aging structure. Most of them were sealed shut with security fields. Except one. A plain door, dimly lit, with no royal insignia.
Kael didn't think.
He ran up and knocked. 3 sharp knocks echoed through the silent alley. For a moment, nothing happened. Then footsteps approached from inside. Kael tensed. If this person turned him away, the drones would find him within seconds. The door slid open with a soft mechanical hiss. And the man standing on the other side was the last thing Kael expected. A human.
Tall.
Broad-shouldered. Wearing dark tactical armor marked with old Earth military symbols. A faint scar crossed the man's jaw, and his piercing eyes studied Kael with calm intensity. For a second, neither of them spoke. Then the human sighed. "You're bleeding," he said simply. Kael blinked. You know who I am?" The human glanced at the distant glow of explosions lighting the sky.
"Prince Kael," he said.
"Heir to the Velmoran throne." Kael's heart sank. "If you know that, then you know I'm being hunted." "I figured that out from the drones," the human replied. A scanning beam flashed across the alley. The drones were close. Kael stepped forward desperately. "Please," he said. "If you turn me away, I'll be dead in seconds." The human studied him for a long moment. Then he stepped aside. "Get inside." Kael didn't hesitate. The door slid shut behind him just as the red scanning lights passed over the building. Inside, the room was surprisingly simple. A small living space with metal walls, a workbench covered in tools, and a holographic display showing tactical star maps. The human locked the door and activated a shielding field. Outside, the drone lights passed. They didn't stop. Kael let out a breath he didn't realize he'd been holding. "Thank you," he said. The human shrugged. "Name's Marcus Hale," he said. "Former soldier of the Earth Defense Fleet." Kael stared at him. Human soldiers rarely live on Velmora. Marcus smirked slightly. "Let's just say I retired somewhere quiet." Another explosion shook the distant city. Kael's expression darkened. "The rebels have taken the capital." Marcus leaned against the table. "I noticed." Kael stepped toward the holographic display. "You have tactical maps." "Old habits." Kael looked at him carefully. "You're not just a retired soldier." Marcus didn't respond. Kael continued. "I need to reach the outer spaceport," the prince said. There's a royal ship hidden there. If I can reach it, I can gather loyal forces and reclaim the planet. Marcus folded his arms. That spaceport is already surrounded. Kael froze. You're sure? Marcus tapped the display. Several blinking red markers appeared across the city. Rebel control zones, Marcus said. They're hunting you. Kael's shoulders sank. For the first time since fleeing the palace, fear truly settled in his chest. What do I do? He whispered. Marcus studied him quietly. You fight, the human said. Kael looked up. I'm not a soldier. Marcus gave a small, humorless chuckle. Tonight you are. The prince hesitated. Why are you helping me? Marcus walked to the window and looked out at the burning skyline. I fought in 3 wars, he said quietly. I watched worlds fall because good people ran away instead of standing their ground. He turned back toward Kael. I'm not watching another one. Kael straightened. What's the plan? Marcus smiled slightly. Now that, he said, is the fun part. An hour later, the two of them moved through the shadows of the city. Marcus had given Kael a spare combat jacket and a plasma sidearm. You ever fired one? Marcus asked. Kael shook his head. Marcus sighed. Point, aim, and don't shoot me. They moved through back alleys and maintenance tunnels Marcus clearly knew well. You've been preparing for this, Kael said. Marcus shrugged. Old soldier instincts. Suddenly Marcus raised a hand. Stop. Kael froze. A rebel patrol moved across the next intersection, 3 armored figures with pulse rifles. Marcus whispered. We can't fight them. Not yet. Kael nodded nervously. They waited until the patrol passed. Then Marcus led him through a narrow tunnel that emerged near the edge of the city. In the distance, the spaceport towers rose into the sky. But so did dozens of rebel ships. Kael's heart sank. They're everywhere. Marcus scanned the area.
Yeah.
Spotlights swept across the ground. Soldiers patrolled the perimeter. Kael whispered, We'll never get through. Marcus studied the defenses. Then he grinned. Oh, we will. Kael frowned.
How?
Marcus pointed toward a large cargo shuttle near the outer hangar. Because they're expecting a prince to sneak in. He looked back at Kael. They're not expecting him to crash the front gate. 10 minutes later, alarms erupted across the spaceport. The cargo shuttle roared forward at full speed. Inside the cockpit, Kael clung to the seat. You stole a ship. Marcus laughed. Borrowed. Blaster fire exploded across the hull. Kael shouted, We're going to die. Marcus slammed the throttle. Not today. The shuttle smashed through a barricade and skidded across the landing platform. Rebel soldiers scattered. Marcus jumped from the cockpit. Move! They ran across the platform toward a sleek silver starship hidden beneath a cargo tarp. The Royal Escape Ship.
Kael stared.
You actually did it. Marcus activated the ship's ramp. Get inside. Blaster fire streaked toward them. Marcus returned fire, dropping 2 rebels. Kael reached the ramp. He turned back. Marcus was still fighting. Come on, Kael shouted. Marcus sprinted up the ramp just as the ship's engines ignited. The vessel lifted into the air. Blaster fire flashed beneath them. Then they burst through the clouds and into the stars. Silence filled the cockpit. Kael sat back in the seat, stunned. We escaped. Marcus exhaled slowly.
Yeah.
Kael looked at him. You saved me. Marcus shrugged. Part of the job. The prince studied the human carefully. You could have stayed hidden. Marcus smiled faintly. Maybe. Kael extended his hand. Then come with me. Marcus raised an eyebrow. To where? Kael looked out at the stars. To take back my world. Marcus considered it. Then he shook the prince's hand. All right, Your Highness. Kael smiled. For the record, he said, you knocked on the right door tonight. Marcus chuckled.
No, he said.
You did.